So I guess at the periphery, you probably know that there's this bird flu going around, not in humans, but in birds. The recent bird flu outbreak wiped out over 150 million chickens, right? And as a consequence, egg prices have gone sky high, and the whole U.S. poultry industry is in trouble. And by the way, guess what they're doing in order to try to reduce egg prices in the United States? Because egg prices are very high, if you haven't noticed, and that's because of bird flu, not greedflation, not because some conspiracy, bird flu. Chickens have died and been killed because they had the virus, so as not to infect other chickens. What they're doing is they're importing massive quantities of eggs from, of all places, South Korea. Couldn't do it from Canada. Canadian chickens, they're not good because they're Canadian. And we're like at war with Canada right now and can't import. Anyway, low tariffs with South Korea, no tariffs on chicken eggs yet. Now, maybe April 2nd we'll get chicken egg tariffs. Maybe they'll get an exemption because we really need the chicken eggs right now. And it turns out that when you import chicken eggs, the price of eggs goes down. Isn't that amazing? That actual free trade lowers prices. So massive quantities of chicken eggs are being imported. Anyway, that's an aside on trade. But RFK, the great scientific mind that he is, has suggested we just let the virus rip through the flock, unmitigated, in hope of finding naturally immune chickens. And, that way we can create a whole new generation of chickens that are immune to this virus. Now, what's the flaw in that one? I mean, I don't want to question the great scientific mind of RFK, but what's the flaw in that? Well, if you let the virus rip through the flock unmitigated, what is going to happen to the virus? It's going to mutate. And it's going to mutate over and over and over and over again because it's going to be unlimited in terms of, infections. The more you let a virus rip, the more it mutates. Now, as it mutates, and as you get these millions and millions of iterations, hundreds of millions of iterations, there's a much, much greater chance that it morphs into a version that jumps to humans. Now, I'm not even concerned, talking here about the industry and what it does to the industry and how long it takes for these immune chickens to arise, if any of them arise, given the virus is constantly mutating and all of that. But just think about humans. One of the great fears of infectious disease doctors out there is that this virus will mutate, this bird virus will mutate and affect humans. And it could be, and has been for other animals to which it's mutated, very deadly. And if you think this is all science fiction, then you should go study a little bit of science or talk to a scientist. It's not. It's very real. And it's very scary. RFK, let it rip. Let it rip. Let it rip into the human population. And then the guy running the entire program for health is RFK. And of course, one thing we know will not be developed if RFK is running Health and Human Services when a virus is ripping through the American human population is the one thing we will not get is a vaccine because he doesn't believe in those. Now, there is another alternative, which some people are advocating for, and that is to vaccinate the chickens. And that means injecting every single chicken individually. And hundreds of millions of chickens. Very expensive. And will probably Eliminate all export of chickens. Yeah, I know Wyatt is very afraid of vaccines. God forbid you vaccinate anybody or anything because it's scary stuff. He's proud to have not been vaccinated for COVID. I mean, which is insane, but he's proud of it. And just vaccines, scary stuff. God forbid we do anything actually scientifically. Yep. Yeah, you're gonna eat organic chickens. That'd be good. Let's eat organic chickens. Vaccine-free chickens. Yes. Anyway, exports would shrink because the rest of the world is not going to buy vaccinated chickens. People don't like vaccinated chickens to eat. So, what do you do? Well, I think what you do is what we've done so far, which is mass culling. The killing of massive numbers of chickens in order to prevent the virus from spreading. This is what's happened. It's creating some economic distress certainly to poultry farmers, but to egg prices. Although again, free trade is the solution to that. But yeah, nature generally is not friendly to human beings. It's part of this whole organic thing. I don't trust nature. Nature's not thinking of my interests. I trust human beings much more than I trust nature. Nature wants to kill me, generally. I think that generally is true. Nature wants to kill human beings. And we have to use our mind, science, to continue to live and to thrive. That's why vaccines are cool. Yeah, you should definitely have a choice about it. But to be proud of your anti-vax stance.